mute, but it's red when it's... Hello and welcome everyone to the $32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 Classic here at Wellington International. I'm your host Danny Waldman and I am thrilled to be here presenting our live stream. It is a gross and rainy day here in Wellington, very chilly, 62 degrees Fahrenheit, and very rainy and wet. But the ground looks good, horses are getting ready, riders are out there finishing up their course walk. And I am joined in the booth today by British rider, trainer, and horse dealer Chris McGahey. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's great to have you. Chris is normally based in Belgium with his stables, Glen Patrick Stables, in partnership with Carl Cox. But he is here for the week, joining us in Wellington. And I managed to convince him to come up here and join our live stream. What do you think of last night's class?
I thought it was good, actually. I'm surprised how tough it was, actually. I thought for the first week it was already very challenging. But yeah, it was filled full of great horses and riders. So yeah, everyone was very capable, and I think in the end, actually, it was just about right in the jump off, you know. So.
Absolutely. It looked like a very tough class. Again, we saw Ben Mayer take the win in that 3-star class last night. Again, just WEF1 here, so we're just getting started for season. But it was certainly a challenging course set by Nicholas Granite. Today's meter 50 is also set by Nick Granite. And we walked the course. It looks solid out there. Actually, not the longest course. Ends at jump 12, which I thought was actually quite interesting. You think that's something with the weather? Why do you think he set such a short course out there today?
Yeah, well, I have to say, actually, I thought at the beginning it was already quite tough. Like, number one, it's just by the in-gate, so you already need to be a little bit on the ball there. So yeah, I guess if he made it 1 or 2 jumps more, it would have been, you know, quite a tough course because, okay, it's 12 jumps, but I think it's challenging.
There's enough jumping to be done.
Yeah, there's enough jumping to be done. It's pretty challenging. So,
yeah.
But it's a good course. He's always fair, but yeah, it's still challenging. I don't think it'll be, you know, just given away today.
No, absolutely. And we originally had 71 on the list, but we're down to about 54, so quite a lot of scratches, I think related to the weather, as well as for those of you who saw the original list. Horses and riders are registered the night before, and some of them have jumped the Grand Prix, and then they maybe had a good round last night and opting not to jump today's meter 50, so that's why our list has changed so significantly. But still quite a lot of good ones on the list. Todd Minikus going to get us started early. Rodrigo Pessoa is actually going to be our first rider out. Richie Vogel of Germany. Cian O'Connor. We've got quite a lot of people. Shane Sweetnam out of Ireland. And McLain Ward will be jumping. Margie Goldstein-Engel. It's still a very strong field with 54 to jump today. But I don't know. Walk us through the course a little bit. What did you think? We start, like you said, that oxer right by the gate, and then make a right-handed turn to a line across the middle. And what do we got after that?
Yeah. So one already, you want to be on the ball. It's by the in gate, which is already quite tough. Roll back to 2. I think it was 6 strides there to the oxer.
Yep.
Then middle to that double of verticals, 8 strides. And then it was very, very quiet forward, I thought, after that.
Yeah, I thought it was very short, especially out of those verticals, right? The horses land even further away from the verticals out of a double, and the 4 already walked quite short.
Yeah.
And on top of that, with the weather, I know the ground on that side of the ring is a little bit iffier compared to the rest of the footing. So I think that's going to be quite a tough line.
I mean, the ground seems good in there, I have to say, with all the rain.
Yeah, it stays pretty dry, but I know it was seeming a little bit more slippery on that end.
Yeah.
Some of the riders in the amateur classes earlier in the day, we saw a couple of things with the horses. So we'll keep an eye on what that line is. Especially, it will be in our jump-off as well. So we'll keep an eye on what the horses and riders do from 3 to 4 into that double verticals along the side. And just keeping in mind that they'll probably want to do even one less stride in the jump-off. And so we'll keep an eye on that. And, of course, it's continuing to rain here, so it's not making the conditions any better.
No, definitely. We'll see how it plays out. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse than it is now. But, yeah, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get started now. Again, here for the 32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 Classic. Our first one up is going to be Rodrigo Pessoa. He is out there, and he is an addition to our list.
Yeah, I couldn't see him on my list.
Yeah, I think he was a late ad. And there he's on Dalida. Again, he jumped this horse last night in the Grand Prix. I think it's a young horse just coming up, and I think he just wanted to give another round for this horse while he's entered in the 3-star this week. So let's see what he does.
Yeah, I've seen this horse a few times. It's very, very nice. I mean, Rodrigo is, for me growing up, Rodrigo was always someone I really looked up to.
Absolutely. There he chose to do 9 strides out on the bend, had a little bit of a rub coming into that double, and then has the out of the 4-stride line. Again, we didn't finish going through the course, but he does the offset Liverpool vertical, right-handed turn back to this white plank. He's looking good so far. Steady 5 there into the double vertical oxer. Does 7 down to the last jump. Again, finishing up. Time is 67.33. 4 jumping faults, 1 on the clock. Total of 5 for Rodrigo Pessoa and Dalida.
That was a good round, actually, to start off.
All right, next in it's going to be USA's Todd Minikus. And he is sitting on Kikabo Spirit. Kikabo Spirit, 2005 mare out of Darius with a Game Boy mother owned by the Spirit Group.
It's quite a young horse, 9 years old.
Yeah, actually, I saw it jump the other day. It jumped really well, but it looks a little bit green for this level.
It's really raining out there at the minute as well. It's coming down quite hard.
Yeah, you guys can see on the screen, it is not the most pleasant day to be show jumping. It's a very European day.
It is,
should feel like home for you.
I'm right at home with this. It's jumping very good so far.
Let's see what he does here.
He did the 9 going into the
Nice
double.
9 into that ox or vertical double. Again, no triple out there today, just 3 doubles. Ooh, you can see his martingale snapped. And that is what's dangling there on the bottom.
It's not ideal.
Not ideal. Probably very annoying for the horse. Shouldn't be too much of an actual risk of anything, but just more annoyance.
Actually, the horse carried on well. Because,
Absolutely. And jumped a clear round.
Exactly.
So that'll be our first clear, 66.50. And into the jump off for Todd Minikus. So Todd getting us started early on in this class with a clear round. There you can see, looks down a little bit, sees the martingale. Flopping back and forth between the horse's legs, but
he doesn't seem
did not seem to phase him.
Yeah, exactly. No, he jumped a super round. That was actually a lovely horse.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was nice. He came back. He jumped the WEF the other day. I think he jumped him last night in the class as well, and then came back again and jumped a good solid round. I'll be happy with that.
Yes.
All right, moving on to Belgium, Zoe Conter. Zoe is sitting on Dawa de Green Bay Z, the Stefex-owned entry. The 2012 Stallion by Diarado with a shilling mother. Oh, it is not looking nice with the weather out there. Luckily, the grounds jury has allowed the riders to wear raincoats so they can try to stay slightly drier.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how much that actually works.
That would have been very cool now if they weren't allowed a rain jacket.
Yeah. No. It is nice that they're allowing that.
Yes. So
All right.
I've seen this horse as well, I think a couple of times. It's Diarado. It's very nice.
Yeah, Zoe, of course, normally based in Belgium, but comes here with her family during the winter seasons. She's been the last couple of years, had a lot of success, been down here, jumped on the Nations Cup teams for Belgium that they've had during the winter season. And she's looking good so far. Again, time allowed is 67 seconds. This is actually our third entry, so the course designer's still monitoring that time allowed. And like we said, the course is not that long out there, right? Only 67 seconds. Normally we see things in the high 70s, even into the 80s for these bigger classes. So 67 seconds is not that long.
No. That is the thing I've noticed out here. The time allows they're so short. You know, you really have to be going all the time. You can't wait too long in the corners. You have to keep everything coming.
Absolutely. And there Zoe had A, B of the double as well as the Hermes Ox or after. Just looked like maybe she came into that line a little bit quick. Had a lot of rolling momentum. I think that's maybe why those came down. What do you think?
Yeah, just the horse didn't really look like it was completely focused there on the job. Maybe it was looking a little bit into the jumps.
Yeah, and it's aimed right at the in-gate, that line.
Exactly.
She'll finish up time 63.78 with 4 down, total of 16 for Zoe. All right, moving on to Germany's Richard Vogel and Munin. Munin is a 9-year-old mare by my lord Katarga with a chin-chin mother owned by the Coleridge Equestrian LLC.
Yeah, Richie had big success there in Geneva.
Absolutely.
Couple weeks ago.
Couple weeks ago. He won
it was amazing.
Rolex Grand Prix.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
an exceptional round of show jumping.
That was. He's always a competitor, Richie. He if he's in the class, there's always
risk.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone else is scared of him, that's for sure. He is just so fast up there.
Yeah, unbelievable. But he's been out here the last couple of years, is that right?
Yeah, I think this is maybe third season here. And, well, he had a tremendous season last year, won the final Grand Prix, and then just had an exceptional summer after that.
Yeah,
he helped secure the Germans' win in Barcelona for the Nations Cup final.
Yeah, anywhere he goes, he just has success.
Seems like that 9 there into the double is what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
Oh, unfortunately, B coming down.
Actually, when I walked it, I thought it was easy on the 8, just a little bit inside. But I suppose that line, if you come too forward in, then it's very quickly. It comes up very quick.
Absolutely. And I think the way the plank is set, it really kind of pitches you out past that track.
Exactly.
Staying in on the 8 just doesn't seem like the right choice at the moment. He'll finish up time as 65.01 with 4 faults for Richie, Vogel, and Munin. All right, so it looks like that time allowed is sticking at 67 seconds. And we will move on to Jacob Pope. Jacob Pope is sitting on Incento SA, the Ash Atkinson entry of the 11-year-old gelding by Cardento with the Voltaire mother. Ooh, it looks wet out there.
Yeah.
We're nice and dry here up in the booth, but I feel for these horses and riders.
You could just see there as well, just by the in-gate, it was just really not in front of his leg there.
Yeah, get a little bit distracted.
Mm-hmm.
Looking good now.
Yeah, he's getting into it.
And again, those double verticals, a little bit hard to see here on our screen, but those horizontally striped poles coming into the double verticals, very delicate. And you want to come in really steady and balanced there. Yeah. And those jumps are in the jump off, so we'll see how much risk riders are really going to take when it comes to the jump off. But in this first round, that's one of the most delicate parts of the course.
Yeah, of course. You really have to... Whoop.
Ooh.
Just had a bit of a look.
Almost looked like he spooked a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of just stared at the ground and
Just looks a little bit wary from the beginning.
And a lot of times, sometimes when it's raining this much, it can make the horses a little bit insecure. You know, you're a little bit slippery up there in the tack, and then the visibility is not so good. The ground is a little bit more wet than they're used to.
Yeah, exactly. No, it definitely plays a factor. I think, yeah, for a horse and rider, you know, it's just another element.
Added element.
Exactly.
Time is 68.01 for jumping faults, 2 on the clock for Jacob Pope. All right, moving on to Germany's Rupert Carr, Winkelmann, and Duvery. Duvery is owned by Eichendorff Horses GmbH & Co. and ridden by Rupert out of Germany. Again, I think this is his first full season here in Wellington. I knew him as a rider over in Europe, but I think he's now based here in the U.S. for the season, starting out week 1.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been out here the last 4 years, I'd say, and each year there's more and more people coming out from Europe and doing the tour, you know.
Absolutely. I think it's a couple of factors, right? Not just good jumping, but also quite a lot of business happening here in Wellington, and a good way for these younger professionals out of Europe to come and get their businesses sort of jump-started.
Exactly. It's great to come out. I always like coming out, meeting new people. There's plenty of opportunity out here, which is nice.
And tough competition, huh?
And tough competition,
This is about as tough as it gets anywhere in the world. And even here, week 1, last night's Grand Prix, we saw a 3-star class, and a lot of people, I heard sort of a lot of chatter amongst spectators that in Europe, 3-star normally wouldn't be as tough as it even was last night. It really rode not only first class under the lights, but it was a tough enough course. It was big enough. It was technical enough, especially that lineup at the top with the wall to the orange oxer. That was not so easy for the horses and riders.
No. I thought it was a very tough class.
Oh. All right. Rupert will finish up time is 64.32 with the 1 down for a total of 4 faults. He's sitting in second place at the moment. But we've got many more to see jump.
But actually, I was walking the course yesterday for the Grand Prix, and I thought it was very tough. And Ken Farrington said, "Oh, it's a nice small class to get going." Whereas I was thinking it was a killer. But but these guys, they're so this to them is just another day.
Yeah, exactly. You know, they walk it and they think, oh. Seems like a nice, simple class, but most people out there, especially early on in season, you know, that first 3-star, this first 3-star week, it's a big sort of a introductory week for a lot of horses and riders. And, of course, some of the top riders out there thinking it looks nice and soft. Everyone else is looking at it going, whoa, this is a big start. But here in Wellington, they're not kidding around.
No, especially under the lights, I find, I saw a few horses and they went fairly green, and they were actually still experienced horses, but I find under the lights some horses can just get a little bit
shy.
Just a little bit shy, yeah.
Absolutely. They get a little greener and things just look a little bit different. And also there was quite a nice, luckily it was not pouring rain like it is now. It was sort of nicer weather last night. And there was quite a big crowd, and that adds a lot of atmosphere.
Exactly.
It's a different environment for the horses. All right, we're looking at Doug Payne and Emeraldo. Emeraldo is the 10-year-old gelding by Emerald, owned by Payne Equestrian. Sitting on the one down so far. He had B coming out of that first double.
Yeah.
Or second double.
Actually jumped a lot of the course very well. At the beginning, didn't look like he was really taking him. And then towards the end, actually a little bit too much.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Ends up having the last one down as well.
Exactly.
So he'll finish up with 2 down. Time is 66.59. So just under that time allowed, but with the 2 down for Doug Payne. All right, we're going to move on to Ireland's Cian O'Connor and Fancy to Cairgain. The Coolmore show jumping entry of the 9-year-old stallion by Berden de Cairgain and the Cordehus on the mother's side.
Yeah, I saw this horse I think he had it in Hubside during the summer. It's jumps.
It's exceptional.
Unbelievable.
It is an unbelievable jumper. He jumped clear in the Challenge Cup on Thursday to help Cian qualify for last night's Grand Prix. And then he saved the horse for today's meter 50. But this really is an exceptional horse.
Yeah, he always has a good horse underneath him.
And actually, the Berden de Cairgain, the sire of this horse, is also known, had a former name of Casco Bay. And Casco Bay was do you remember that horse at all?
I don't actually.
It was an awesome horse. Really, stallion that Laura Kraut rode. And it was an awesome horse, Casco Bay. So it's nice to actually see.
Exactly. Yeah, this looks like a machine.
Yeah, really. Great jumper. A little bit interesting sort of technique in front because it really overpowers itself behind. But it's such an athlete. And again, just 9 years old, jumping up to this level now.
Yeah, it's good going.
I think Cian's excited about this one.
Yeah. I know he's some operator now. Cian, actually, when I left school, I went to, as a working pupil, to Cian O'Connor's stable when he was in Ireland. And
how was that?
It was amazing. I have to say, the management, everything it's so well planned out, so well thought of.
Yeah, I think Cian is just
he's
so organized about stuff.
My God.
And you hear over and over, the management is just top notch.
It's top notch. I don't think there's many other stables that do it as well as him.
Yeah, look at that. Beautiful to the last. Oh, just over that time allowed, 67.25. He will pick up the one time fault. But there you can see big pets for an excellent jumping round for Cian and Fancy to Cairgain. Yeah, I think that's one to really look out for all season.
I don't think he'll be too bothered about that time fault. That was a really exceptional round.
Yeah, jumped amazing. All right, moving on to the USA's Natalie Dean and Oasis Van de Buckstail. Oasis owned by the Marigold Sport Horses LLC. And the 10-year-old mare by Quinn de Heink with a Skippy 2 mother.
Yeah, Natalie, she has some really amazing horses. I've been watching her this week. And I have to say, all the horses are very well picked.
Absolutely. She had a very successful last year. And I think she recently started riding, actually, with Ben Mayer.
Ah, okay. Because I knew before she was with Ilan
Ferder.
Yeah.
But I think recently, I'm not 100% on that, but I'm pretty sure she's working with Ben now.
Yeah, it's not a bad guy to be training with.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, Ben, I have to say, even yesterday in the Grand Prix, he's just class. Just how he does it, it just looks picture perfect every time.
Yeah, and McLain started out the jump off last night, and I thought, ooh, that was a really quick round. I don't know if anyone's going to catch him. And then Ben came in and just a little bit tighter here and a little bit faster there, and just wow.
Oh, but these guys, they have it down to a T.
They do. And again, just a little fraction of a second here and there.
Yeah,
one less stride. Ben's horse, even on the rollback to the jump by the VIP tent, tripped a little bit, and Ben just kept the leg on and kept coming through the turn. It was really an exceptional ride.
This is
also looking pretty good.
Round, yeah.
And look at that.
Lovely horse.
In that time allowed, 66.23. Natalie Dean and Oasis Van de Buxtel assure us of a jump off. So that'll make it 2 on the good list so far. Again, we've got Todd Minikus, who came in early, and now Natalie Dean adding her name to that list. Rain is just not letting up.
Nope.
But does not seem to be phasing the horses and riders. All right, moving on to USA's Richard Neal and Catamaco LS. 2011 gelding by Caruso Lacia and owned and ridden by Richard himself. This horse is well-bred. Caruso Lacia, the sire of this horse, was formerly seen under Jeroen Dubbeldam and Alberto Michon over in Europe. And the mother of Caruso, so the mother of the father of this horse, won the Grand Prix of Aachen.
Oh, well. It's good bloodlines.
Absolutely. And the dam sire of this horse, the Cartago, was also in the Olympics with Jos Lansing. So
there you go.
We got a lot of Olympics
Yeah.
in the bloodline of this one. It's just a well-bred animal.
Yeah, it's jumping a good round so far. He's got a big gag in it, keeping the head up.
Yeah, exactly. There's a bit that uses a little bit of leverage, helps keep the
exactly.
balance of the horse a little bit more uphill, and that certainly can help on takeoffs of the jumps. I actually was a big fan of riding in that kind of bit.
Really, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of men actually don't like
I
it so
know.
much. It's really a more female used bridle. Just a little bit of a reach there at the last time, 67.48. So we'll pick up the 1 time fault plus the 2 jumping faults, total of 9 for Richard Neal and Catamaco. But yeah, I always find gag bits actually something that a lot of women use. I think it helps. I don't know. It always helped with leverage, and I think us short women up there, we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, it's people either like it or hate it. You know, it's everyone has their own ways. But yeah, it was never actually a bridle that I particularly liked.
No, very few men. It's really a lot of, and if men use it, I see it more with 2 reins versus just the 1 rein.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to USA's Allison Robitaille and Dagny. Dagny is a 10-year-old mare by Durant with a Verdi mother, owned by Allison Firestone, LLC. Allison also has a couple of really nice horses at the moment. Saw a great little chestnut of hers yesterday that I really loved.
Yeah, they have lovely horses.
Yeah, she's good at picking kind of sporty horses that suit her. She's a fighter up there.
Yeah. That's the thing. You kind of need to find the horses that really suit your riding. You know, it's and it's interesting out here. I think out here with some of the riders, they're very good at doing that. You know, they really try to match the horse and rider. You know, whereas in Europe, I would find maybe it's a little bit more common. A lot of those riders would be riding, you know, many different types, whether it suits them or not. You know?
No, I totally agree.
So it's very interesting.
Now, this is actually a really nice sort of push on. You can see the horse kind of just takes a moment on takeoff to really set himself and then jump the jumps there a little bit. He really grabs the ground on takeoff. Yeah. But like you said, in Europe, I don't know if it's a factor of maybe just a lot of riders and people are kind of happy to get whatever horses they can to some degree to be able to jump that high level. But she does pick up 1 time fault, unfortunately, 67.15 for Allison Robitaille. Clear on the jumping, but 1 on the clock. Again, thanks to our sponsor, Hermes, for the Meter 50 Classic, which we're going to see every Sunday, or mostly every Sunday, a couple Saturday nights maybe. But Hermes sponsoring this Meter 50 Classic throughout the Wellington Equestrian season, all here at Wellington International.
Yeah, that was a good round. It's 10 years old, so yeah, not so old. I think she should be happy with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Looks like it needs a few rounds just maybe to get into it.
Yeah, but it certainly looks like it has the ability, and I think she's jumped that 150 class quite easy today. Yeah. So I think it'll certainly jump more.
Exactly. The thing is, it's such a long circuit here as well, you know, you have plenty of time to get going, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I was talking to Rodrigo And he said that, I saw he opted not to jump the jump off in the qualifier the other day, and I said, why didn't you want to jump? And he goes, it's only week one.
Yeah.
There's a lot of show jumping left to be done this season. So people and picking and choosing how and when to use the horses to make sure that they are having the horses as fresh as they can be, so that they're feeling good.
Yeah, I've even talked to quite a few people here, and they're actually not jumping
At all this week.
The first maybe couple of weeks, which I completely get. It's if maybe you don't have so many horses, you really want to try and protect them as long as possible.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to Columbia's Mark Bluman and Quick Chick 3.
I see this is by, I don't know, is it still owned by Carl Hanley?
I think it might be.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. Yeah, always has a lot of nice horses.
Yeah. That's a 10-year-old mare by Quo Vadis with a capital one. It's listed as owned and ridden by Mark, but I think I think Carl Hanley still has something with it.
Yeah.
But really sporty horse to see. You can see it looks a little bit backed off today.
Yeah.
Sort of staring at the jumps a little bit more.
But I have to say, it's still, when it gets there, it does what it needs to do.
Yeah, I mean, I like this horse. I saw it jump the other day, and I think it's a really sporty type horse. Jumps in a good shape.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's just difficult, that line, actually. It's tall enough coming in.
It is, and it's a little steady in the 5.
Yeah.
And at the last, looked like he just maybe cut across it a little bit, losing some height in the air across to the right.
Exactly.
He'll finish up time 66.90 with the 2 down for Mark Bluman and Quick Chick 3.
Yeah, looks like it needs a couple of rounds, that one.
Yeah. All right, moving on to Chile's Gabriella Reuter and Castle OJ. 11-year-old gelding by Sligo Candy Boy and High Roller, the Lumiere Horses Incorporated entry.
That's very Irish breeding.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You can't go more Irish than that.
No.
But it's interesting, actually. I've seen a few Sligo Candy Boys, and actually they're becoming nice horses.
Yeah.
It's a shame, because before it was a lot of Irish bred horses, no?
I know.
20, 30 years ago.
Yeah, we used to see tons of Irish bred horses in the sport, and then there was a bit of a big chunk of time where you didn't see any at all, and now there's a bit of a resurgence. We're seeing more and more. I think some breeders in Ireland really got a couple of good stallions and a couple of good mares, and they're trying to pick it up again. So we're starting to see more Irish bred horses in the sport again.
But it's amazing, in Belgium. I've been there nearly 5 years, I would say. And just the breeding system they have there is just...
In Belgium?
In Belgium. There's no other country like it.
No, I think Holland, Belgium...
Yeah.
Germany is a bit more scattered, but Holland and Belgium, they really have the bloodlines down. They are well-oiled machines for the breeding. So she's sitting on the 1 down right now.
Yeah.
Does have that front pole of the Liverpool Hermes Oxer. Again, that line from the green Horseware Ireland double to the Hermes Oxer is aimed directly at the in-gate. And then the course designer, I think, using the Liverpool at the base of that Hermes Oxer to draw the eye in even more.
Yeah.
And then the horses can easily get distracted.
Yeah, it can really unravel, actually. One fault and they get a little bit...
rattled.
Yeah. I think because, actually, when I walked it, it's actually... it's not crazy big, but he's very clever in how he's done it. There's plenty of... places where you can make a fault,
Absolutely. She'll finish up. Time is 67 and change with a few down and a time faults. All right. We are moving on to Jorge Mate Capdevila and his own entry of Chicago HD. The 2009 gelding by Cornetto Belinsky with the Accord 2 mother. Let's see what he can do. I always like seeing the Accord 2 mothers because it's the same damn sire as my horse Lizzie Mary.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's training with Dara Kenny at the moment, no?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. I think he was also in Europe during the summer.
Yes, and I believe he jumped the...
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Not wanting to go that direction.
Nearly looked like he was going for the extra stride and then just kind of dropped off the bridle.
Yeah. Exactly. Sometimes you think, oh, I want to fit one more in, and you go to
yeah.
steady, and then the horse kind of thinks about you steadying and pulling on the reins, and they don't really focus on the jump, and then it can really screw up your rhythm.
And I have to say that double, it doesn't look too difficult, but actually with the colored poles as well, they look a little bit going in.
Yeah, it's those horizontally striped poles almost look like they're moving for the horses. It's a little bit of an optical illusion.
Yeah, really.
And I think the horses can't quite focus on where the top is, which is, of course, the technique of painting the poles that way and why they do it, to create that. But it does add an extra element for the horses to be able to see.
That was a shame because actually now it's jumping a really nice round.
Yeah.
Maybe just needs to get in the rhythm a little bit, get a few rounds in.
Just looked like the balance on takeoff at that oxer was a little bit low. Just jumped into that front pole a little bit. Oh, and there again, I think maybe hitting the bridle. And so he will be eliminated in the round for Jorge Mate, but I have a feeling they'll figure out some of the kinks and come back stronger another day.
Yeah, I'm sure Darrow will get that sorted.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to Ireland, Shane Sweetnam and Otis Blue. Otis Blue, 10-year-old gelding by Jaguar, Van de Pamel, and a numero uno mother, owned by VoQuest LLC. Shane should be, I would say, used to this weather, but he's been based here in the U.S. for so long, he's probably not used to it.
Yeah, he's been here a long time, no? How many years?
Oh, a long time. For sure over 10 years.
Yeah.
Well over 10 years.
He's always been very successful.
Absolutely. He really has made an incredible name for himself.
Yeah.
Been so successful. Of course, his top horse, James Conn Cruz, at the moment. I'm sure he's saving for some of the bigger weeks coming up. But he has such a strong team of horses and strong team of supporters that really tell you that they've been long-time supporters of him. I think Shane is a really good guy.
Yeah, he's got it all organized, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think he has some good clients as well at the moment that he's training. And
absolutely. This horse jumping really well. Just taking his time and then jumping around each jump.
yeah. Actually, it's nice. I just bought one in Belgium, also by Jaguar Van Pamel. So it's nice to see one that's like this.
Yeah, this is jumping great. Check on his time. I think he's all right. Beautiful jump at the last. Under that time, 66.35, and another clear. So that'll take us up to 3 for the jump off so far. We've got Todd Minikus, Natalie Dean, and now Shane Sweetnam adding his name to the jump off list. So big breaks in between each clear that we're seeing, but we're getting down the list. And next up, we'll see USA's Nicholet Hurt. Nicholet is sitting on Chateau 7, the 2009 gelding by Chaco Blue, with the Toulon mother owned by Chatwood Farms, LLC. This horse was ridden by Nikki Shahinian Simpson in the past, before Nicholet Hurt got the ride.
Another Chaco Blue.
Yeah, we see so many in the sport.
So many, yeah.
Prolific breeder.
Just see there, he's wearing the mask on the horse, which has become quite popular with a lot of these maybe more sensitive horses.
Yeah, again, it's called a titanium compression mask.
Is it? Yeah. I've never ever tried it.
I've tried it a couple of times,
Have you?
actually. I did.
I know a lot of people are really positive about it. They say it's a big difference, but it's hard to think, is it in the rider's mind?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Is it
So much of riding has the placebo effect. If the
Really?
riders
Yeah.
think it works, then it makes a big difference.
Exactly.
Hard to say. I mean, there is some merit, I think, to the idea. It's a similar concept of the thunder blankets that you would use
Yeah.
on a dog when a dog might be afraid of lightning or something like that. And that concept of compression to add a little bit of sort of support and security. She's a little bit quick coming into the double there at the end. Unfortunately, she'll have that late fault. gets over the last, we'll finish up with 4 faults, 1 on the clock, total of 5 for Nicholet Hurt and Chateau.
It's a lovely horse, I have to say. It was just unlucky. Unlucky there.
This was a really solid round, just a late fault. But yeah, those compression masks, I don't know. I mean, we'll see if it, we see plenty of people use them.
I know,
and,
I know.
I tried it. I can't say whether I thought it helped or not.
I don't know.
I normally don't want to believe in those kind of things.
Yeah,
but,
I'm a bit the same. Actually,
I'm a little skeptic about those kind of things.
It's become like a real trend. You know, it's. Yeah.
But I have to say there is true merit to if the rider thinks it works, it also can make you ride a little different, and that could be the difference. You know,
exactly.
we're looking for that 1-2%, edge with these kind of things. We're not looking for night and day kind of changes.
Exactly.
So if it whether it comes naturally or just because of the rider's mental stability, that also counts.
Exactly. I mean, if it does help, even like you say that 1-2%, then these riders will always try and get these percentages added up.
Absolutely. All right, next in is Lebanon's Jad Dana and Fleur de Lis Cherie.
That's jumping good so far.
Yeah, we were talking about Jad last night. He's had one hell of a year and just coming up at this level and been so tremendously successful. He's such a scrappy rider up there. Just gets it done. And he won the National Grand Prix last week. He won a couple classes late in the season down here in the fall, and it's just been tremendous.
Yeah, he gets stuck in, doesn't he? He gets makes it happen.
Absolutely.
It's someone I've definitely heard a lot more about. You know, he's
in recent time. Oh,
yeah, that was unlucky.
Unfortunate. Just with the hind legs there, has the front pole. Time is 65.27 and 4 faults for the Cherie Group's entry of Fleur de Lis Cherie and Jad Dana.
Yeah, he looks like a rider that really wants it to happen, you know.
I think he fights every single stride.
Exactly.
And I think that really matters up there. You can't just be kind of casual and hope that the jumps are going to happen.
No,
You got to ride every single stride, and Jad does an excellent job with that. All right, moving on to Spain's Francisco Goya. And he is sitting on Staccato Cornet. This is the Ashland Farms entry of the 9-year-old gelding by Cornet Obolinski with the Staccato mother.
Yeah, you can see straight away it's Cornet Obolinski. Very typical model.
Yeah, shape of the jump, color of the horse, way he canters. Of course, some famous Cornets out there. Martin Fuchs's Clooney.
Yeah.
And you can really see similarity. I've ridden a couple of Cornets, and they all have particular characters.
Yeah, bit of character, yeah. Exactly.
But this jumps in a beautiful shape, and that's also something you really see with the Cornets. They're bascule. The genuine shape of the jump is very round.
Yeah.
Front legs, knees up.
I mean, it's still a very popular stallion, isn't it? It's funny how, over time the change, now would be, I would say nearly like Chaco Bleu and
yeah, there's so many Cornets out there.
Like before, it was just always Cornets, wasn't it? Everyone was breeding with.
Yeah, absolutely. Time 69.12, so picking up 3 on the clock, 1 on the course, total of 7 for Spain's Francisco Goya. All right, moving on to Emily Conter. Sorry, guys, our list is all screwed up because of the scratches. And where are we? Emily Conter is sitting on Ocean Quality, 10-year-old mare by Baltic VDL and a Calato Z mother, owned by the Stefek Stables of Belgium. So we saw Emily's sister jump earlier. And let's see what she can do.
These guys, they're always very well horsed.
Yeah, absolutely. Lots of well-bred horses, well-trained horses. And it's nice to see the quality that they get to sit on.
Exactly.
There you can see really uses her upper body to try to slow the horse down, to jump those delicate double verticals. And then it landed nice. She could just keep the energy to that oxer in the 4-stride. Now, we're not actually seeing that offset Liverpool come down too much. We've seen it a couple of times, but usually one of the more delicate courses jumps on the course. And
actually, it's quite a distance from the oxer. You would think it would just get a little bit
flat and open. It
exactly.
encouraged the course designer, I think, encouraging people to sort of get across the top of the ring, and then you have this sort of flat, open gallop to quite a delicate, tall vertical. And actually, it's riding okay.
This horse is jumping.
And we're seeing that front pole behind come actually down a lot in a similar way. Time is 66.15 with just the 4 faults at that penultimate fence for Emily and Ocean Quality.
Yeah, it's quite short there on that double, but it's actually a big enough oxer, so you still need a bit of leg to come out, but I think it just gets a little bit away.
Yeah, exactly. I think also the tall vertical coming in, you get a little bit parked at the vertical, and it's short, but and it's a little bit downhill, and you think, I got to add leg to get out, and then it's just pushing the arc of the jump a little bit past the takeoff point.
Yeah.
And the horse is kind of hooking that front pole behind. All right, moving on to SNL Marlon Van de Heink and Brian Goutal Marteau and the SNL Farms entry of the 2012 Stallion by Desir du Chateau and a Diabo mother. Sounds very French.
It does, yeah. She was half waiting there and then last minute maybe decided to go a little bit on the one less.
Yeah. And then just reorganizing.
Yeah, you need to be so balanced going in.
Again, I walked the double vertical and I thought they're not huge.
No.
But they are set difficultly in the ring up against the side like that on that sort of turn, and it looks like Brian is maybe going to call it a day.
Gonna save him for another day.
Yep. So she will retire within the round. And we will move on to Brazil next with Luis Francisco de Azevedo. Brian looking like she's just kind of putting the horse back together.
Yeah.
And not her day. All right. And here we go. Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo and HFG Quaman, the Santa Cecilia Stables entry of the 11-year-old gelding by Diamante Semele and Kidam's Rubin mother. And the rain is just not letting up. Maybe it's a little bit lighter than it was in the early part of the class, but actually it still looks pretty hard out there.
It is, yeah. It's not really settling down.
No, we were looking on the radar earlier. There's a band of rain across the state of Florida, and it's just sort of sitting still. It's not moving. A lot of times in South Florida, we get bands of rain, and they'll kind of come by quick, and it'll be a deluge and then kind of pass by. And today it has just parked itself over this part of Florida, and it's not going anywhere. He did a good job there, really coming in slow and balanced. Amazing. Yeah, that jumped that beautifully. And you can see this horse so expressive behind.
No, this is a really nice horse.
Yeah, jumping amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not so busy at the show today. I think everyone's staying home, it seems like.
Yeah, the amateur classes this morning, there were 60 scratches.
No way.
In the early amateur class this morning. I think everyone woke up, saw the weather, and said, nope, not today. No show jumping, but we got $32,000 up for grabs today in this class. And I think people thought, you know what? A little rain won't kill us.
No,
Let's keep jumping.
Exactly. I always like seeing the scratches.
Yeah, exactly. If you're a rider in the class and you're not going to scratch, the more scratches there are, the better. You're like, great.
Exactly. That was a super round.
That was. And into our jump off.
Is a really lovely horse.
Exceptional. 66.30 is the time, and he will make it 4 on the good list. Like we said, that was one of the most beautiful rounds.
Yeah.
We were chatting, but we were enjoying watching it because it was horse jumped beautifully, and Luis rode great. He made it look very simple.
Yeah. It's great to see in these classes. Some of the horses are it's really top class.
Absolutely. All right, second ride for Rupert Carl Winkelman and the Eichendorff horses, GmbH and Co. entry Quinn 33. The 14-year-old gelding by Kidam de Revel with the contender mother.
It's great that you can
Ride
2 horses.
Yeah, nice, huh? So normally for the Grand Prix and for the Challenge Cup on Thursdays for the qualifier, you can only ride 1 horse. But in this meter 50 class, you are allowed to ride 2, which is really nice for the riders.
Would that have been from all the scratches, or is that...
No, I believe that is a rule that is...
is it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
you are
super.
allowed to jump the... I believe in FEI competition, I have to check this, but I think that you have to declare which horse you want to count for your rankings, and that one you have to jump first.
Yeah.
But you are allowed to compete for the prize money with 2 entries.
Just jumping a good round.
Yeah, a little bit of a rub there
Yeah.
coming out, but looking good so far.
Oh.
Gets over the last and well within the time allowed, 63.14, making it 2 in a row. So we're now up to 5 on the good list. Rupert Carl Winkelman and Quinn 33 adding their name to the jump off.
Yeah, the K rounds are starting to pick up a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. It took us a while.
Yeah.
We saw one real early, and then it took us another 10 or so, and then another big chunk of time, and now we're picking up on the clears.
It's actually very clever course building because it does... I don't think it takes a lot out of them, but it's just careful enough that
Yeah, absolutely.
there's plenty of faults.
And we're seeing faults all over the place.
Yeah.
But it is our halfway break. We're going to take a little bit of a minute, let the tractors come back out, drag up, get ready, and we'll be back with you guys shortly for the second half. All right, welcome back, everyone, to the 32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 classic. I'm Danny Waldman. I'm here with Chris McGahee, and we are looking at the second half of this meter 50. We have 5 clear at the moment. Todd Minikus was our trailblazer. Then we saw Natalie Dean and Oasis Van de Buxtail, Otis Blue and Shane Sweetnam, HFG Quaman, who had a beautiful round with Luis Francisco de Azevedo, and Rupert Carl Winkelman and Quinn 33 were our 5th clear in the first half. Tractors just made their way out, and here we have our first to get us started in this second half. Looks like Jessica Lido and Mistral. Mistral's 2012 gelding by Bingo van de Capelle and Adarko Mothers. Entry owned and ridden by Jessica Lido. Chris, what do you think of the first half?
Yeah, I mean, not so many clears, but it's starting to pick up a little bit. But yeah, it's a careful course, tough enough. But there's plenty of good riders coming up.
Absolutely. Second half looks nicely stacked with some strong horse rider combinations.
I mean, it's amazing when you look through the start list in Wellington. It's just some of the best riders in the world.
Yeah. It's a nice place to spend the winter. Normally, I'd say it's a lovely place to spend the winter, although today it is freezing and pouring rain, which it has been doing for the last month or so here in Wellington. Everyone is a bit tired of the weather. We want sunny palm trees.
I know. I didn't really sign up for this, to be honest. It was...
You came for your week vacation.
I did, really.
Did not get nice weather. So she has A coming in. Maybe the shape of the jump just got a little bit inverted as she took off at A. Head and neck of the horse up a little bit high and the legs a little bit low. And not able to kind of curl around that delicate vertical coming into the double vertical.
It's a little bit as well. I see she has the gag. We were talking earlier about the gag. That was one of the elements why I'm not such a fan of it. It sometimes makes her jump a little bit inverted.
Yeah. This horse looks like it sort of naturally has that style, and then when you add a little bit of a bridle that has quite a lot of leverage, it can. That is one of the drawbacks of using this type of bit. And but again, you need there's a balance, right? You need control, but you also you want to give the horse a chance to jump in the best shape. Jumps the last jump beautifully. She'll finish up time 69.84 with 4 faults, sitting in 16th place at the moment to get this second half started.
She seems happy with that.
Yeah, nice little pet for the horse.
Actually finished off very well.
All right, moving on to last night's second place finisher, the man who needs no introduction, Mr. McLain Ward, representing the USA, and today he's sitting on La Serra, the McLain Ward and Susan Heller entry of the 10-year-old mare by Casal with the Lacrosse mother. All right, McLain had a super round yesterday in the jump off of the Grand Prix. He looked very quick. Didn't think anyone would catch him, but unfortunately had to settle for second place.
Yeah. McLain has got his game face on.
As he always does. Yeah. So much focus.
Yeah, really. This guy just, he's everything so planned out.
Such strong but beautiful position up there.
It's amazing to see. He gets them so balanced and really gives them confidence, I think.
Yeah,
even
absolutely.
for a bit of a greener horse.
You can see McLain has sort of this little bit higher hand carriage, and but he's always using his leg and seat to create that energy, and then his hands can stay nice and steady, right in place, and he's just creating energy and power into that sort of, you want to create more and more of a ball, right? You want the engine driving, but the you don't want to let go of the front, and McLain really creates power.
Yeah, that's really one thing I really love about him. He really works off his pace, and really uses it to his advantage.
Absolutely.
He's really, if you're trying to imitate a rider, McLain would definitely be the one up at the top to.
Absolutely, and I think every rider would like to mimic his results as well.
Exactly.
So clear round for McLain, 66.28. And into the jump off. That takes our count up to 6 so far. And he will be back for our deciding round. It was a beautiful round from McLain. And again, you know, a lot of times after the break, your first or second, maybe even third rider have a very high percentage of going clear.
Yeah.
So nice fresh footing.
Exactly.
Time to watch that first half go, and McLain showing us how it's done. All right, moving on to Newton Van Het Krekkelhoff and Catherine. Actually, it's Vasco Flores, and I think our list is a little off. It's actually a Dinapo and Vasco Flores from Puerto Rico with the Anton Morano owned entry. The 10-year-old gelding by Di Capo and Beaugarden's Apollo on the mother's side.
He looks like he means business.
He does.
Got a good look around before he came in.
Looking like the rain is letting up a little bit. Still kind of misty out there, but not torrentially downpouring. Oh. It's the second or third horse we've seen do that. Yeah. I think the horses are seeing something out of that corner that they don't like.
It's tricky because it's also with that line, the horses don't really follow where they're going. You know, it's and then it's such a careful double that you can't really force them into it. You have to be very organized.
Yeah, exactly. Finesse.
Yes.
That was a nice solid ride into that double.
Yeah, he's getting a bit more comfortable now.
Yeah, horse looked like he maybe took a deep breath and
Yeah, exactly.
relaxed a little bit. Just comes in a little bit quick there.
Mm-hmm.
And that sort of downhill double. Again, we've seen that come down a lot, either A or B. But Vasco will finish up with Dinapo and a time of 76.29, 12 jumping faults, 10 on the clock for a total of 22. All right, moving on to USA's Wilton Porter and the Sleepy Pea Ranch BV entry, Sternmark 3. 10-year-old gelding by Staccato with the Escudo 1 mother.
Yeah, I've seen this horse throughout the summer. It's really, really lovely horse. I believe it was from Ashford Farm.
I think it might be, actually.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, Wilton does a really great job.
That's really pretty jumper. I think
Yeah,
that comes from the
yeah.
Escudo side. Escudo actually is probably the best hunter stallion, that we've ever really seen. I think has produced just so many top hunters out of Escudo. So I think that's where you get a nice shape jump from.
Yeah, it's something that I'm also learning more and more about with the hunters in equitation.
Yeah, really an American thing.
It's huge here, isn't it?
Yeah, the market here for and the appeal. I mean, there's a lot of Americans that just really like to do the hunters. Again, you got to think of those hunters as a natural horsemanship type class where the judges are judging the style of jumping, the demeanor of the horse, and just consistency of the round. So it's not really at all about the rider's style or anything. It's all about the horse itself and judging, the body type and how kind it is around the course and how settled and nice it looks going around, and if everything is consistent. So Wilton will pick up 2 jumping faults for 8 and 1 on the clock, total of 9, sitting in 20th place at the moment.
Yeah, jumped a good round actually, just a couple of maybe green mistakes, but I don't think it has so much experience at all.
No, it's just 10 years old this year. So again, moving up to this level, 9 years olds, they'll spend the year kind of getting experience, and as they come into their 10-year-old year, that's usually when we begin to see horses peak.
Yeah.
All right, second one, entry for Doug Payne of the USA, and Doug is sitting on Chocolat RFB, the Issy Kelly entry of the 11-year-old gelding by Choco Blue and Oakland mother. Yeah,
he just went on the 8 there. Just looked a little bit open.
Yeah.
And then when they're forward, also in that double, then it's such a quiet 4 after. It's really a difficult line.
Yeah, exactly. If you don't hit A of the double right,
Yeah.
it really kind of screws up the whole line
Yeah.
and can snowball into from one mistake to multiple faults.
Exactly, yeah. I think actually probably the outside 9 is always depends on your horse's stride, but just to get the balance, it's maybe a better option.
Yeah. Jumps that jump. Nice.
The thing is now though as well with the time alloweds, I suppose in one way you nearly have to go on, be thinking always one less, you know. Because
Yeah.
if you add a stride here and there, it's very quickly
Over that time
over
allowed.
that time allowed.
Yeah, and there we do see a time fault and 3 jumping faults, total of 13 for Doug Payne and Chocolat RFB. Again, if you guys are just joining us, we are in the second half of the 32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 Classic. We are sitting on 6 clear at the moment. And it is a gross day here in Wellington.
It is, yeah. It looks like it's clearing up a little bit, but
Really? That seems
is it?
optimistic.
yeah, actually no.
I hope it is. I hope. It does say that by the afternoon it should just be cloudy and no more rain, but it is damp out there and very chilly.
Yeah.
Only 62 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, moving on to USA's Taylor, Land, and Get Go.
Yeah.
Pine Tree Farms, Inc. entry. And Get Go is a 2012 gelding by Grey Top and with a World Diamond O on the mother's side.
Yeah, it's definitely not clearing up.
No, it's not. It's still raining.
Yep.
Well, it's a nice strong ride there to number 1.
Yeah.
Maybe the horse backed off a tiny bit.
You can see it has a red ribbon in the front of the bridle. Sometimes just to show they're a little bit horse shy.
Exactly.
It's
a nice way to alert your fellow riders
yeah.
that, give me a little extra space.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's tough, because also the warm-up there, it's maybe not the biggest, for one that's horse shy. It's maybe hard to get away a little bit from the other horses.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, we always want to give our horses the most fair opportunity to be comfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
And warm up in the best way possible. A little bit of a reach there across the Hermes Oxer, but gets across it. She's sitting on the 1 down so far. I believe she had the white plank down up at the top. Ooh, a little bit of a gap coming in there, but that worked out.
Just looks a little bit unsure maybe on some of the jumps, but actually it was a good super round.
Yeah, she'll finish up time 66.32 with the 1 down for 4 faults. So it looked like that time allowed of 67 seconds was right on.
Yeah.
We're seeing a couple of time faults, but in general, people are right on that mark. We're seeing mostly times in the 65, 66 range, meaning that it was a perfectly done time allowed. Snug enough that you have to pay attention to it, but not undoable.
Yeah. No, I think it's very doable.
All right, moving on to USA's Allison Robitaille. Allison on the Allison Firestone LLC entry, Oakingham Lyra. 11-year-old mare by Tornesh. And with a Del Pietro PB on the mother's side.
Jump number 1, very extravagant already.
It's a nice way to start.
Yep.
It's always good when they jump number 1 nice and high and you think, all right, at least we're starting good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the worst when you start and you have the first one down.
Yeah.
It like really kills the wind in your sails.
This is a lovely horse, I have to say.
Yeah, again, this is the second entry for Allison in this class, and we were talking about it earlier. She really has so many good-looking horses at the moment.
Yeah. I have to say, she gives them a great ride as well. A lot of confidence.
Looking good so far. A little bit of a half halt there, making sure to fit it in.
Super.
Ooh. Oh. Just rolls that front leg, back pull on the way down, unfolded a little bit early. Time is 66.63, but with that late rail at the penultimate fence, will keep her out of the jump off.
Yeah, that was unlucky. That's a really nice horse, though. I think they're going to have a good season.
Yeah. It was a good round, too.
Yeah, very.
Came in good, and you could see she just added a leg, but again, balanced a little bit hard downhill on the double. Did not work out.
Nope.
All right, moving on to USA's Sophie Mayer. And Sophie is sitting on Sentimiento LS La Cia, her longtime partner. The Casal Santo Domingo 2009 gelding. Sophie, the wife of last night's winner. So I'm sure they were celebrating last night after Ben won our 3-star Grand Prix. But back to work today.
Yeah, Sophie, she's, I see her competing a lot more now. I think she was quite quiet for a year or two, no?
Yeah, she had a baby a couple years ago, and I think that she took a little pause.
That's a good enough reason.
Yep, that is a good reason. She's back at it now.
Yeah.
And again, this our longtime partner took her up through the ranks, up to this higher level. This horse actually was born in Mexico at La Cia.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that LS La Cia at the end of his name. And
yeah, there's a lot of good horses from La Silla.
yeah. It's the biggest breeding program, I think, down in Mexico.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Maybe just kind of rolled out of that corner and took the first distance and just kind of pushed that one out of the way. Then had a lot of momentum going into that vertical at the end.
Yeah.
Clears the last, but we'll pick up 2 on the clock, 12 jumping, total of 14 for Sophie Mayer, and that puts her into 25th place at the moment. So we are making our way down this list, sitting on 6 clear at the moment.
I'm sure Ben will be giving her some good advice.
Absolutely. It's nice to have world champion in your in your bed at night. Honey, help me out.
Yeah. It's a good benefit.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, moving on to USA's Daisy Farish. Daisy Farish is sitting on the Lane's End show jumping entry, Orwell SCF. 10-year-old gelding by Dictator Van de Boslandshove and Heartbreaker Mother. This horse, I think, bred in the U.S. You see the SCF at the end of it. That's Spy Coast Farm and Lisa Laurie. And that means a horse was bred at Spy Coast in Kentucky. It was out of that Dictator horse, which was one of the most beautiful jumpers that I ever saw. Actually, jumped in them. It was take the most amazing photos. And it was from
really
Shane Sweetnam. Yep.
This is really nice. I have to say, these guys, I've seen a few of their horses. They all have very nice mounts.
Great effort there on the horse. See it really set itself to jump. Jumps the front pole, then opens up behind.
She's given it a great ride as well. Everything's very balanced. That was super.
Looking good. Time's on the edge.
On the edge. Go on, kick.
Nope. Unfortunately, she will pick up that one time out 67.27, so just 0.2 of a second over.
Yeah.
But that one-time fault will keep her out of the jump-off, so that keeps us on a count of 6 so far. But
yeah, that was a shame. But
yeah, that was a beautiful round.
It's a little bit of maybe a slower mover across the ground.
Yeah.
Sometimes difficult. You have to really be on the ball.
Exactly. And again, this time allowed is really, if you're not right on it the entire time, it's fair. But if you're not really right on it every single stride, it is easy to just snake over it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Moving on to Canada, Susan Horn. Susan Horn is sitting on the Kingsfield Farm entry, Kierlo Van de Bosrand. The 14-year-old gelding by Cardenta with the Utrillo Z mother.
She's quite a bridle going on there. She's Hackamore and it's like a combination.
Yeah, it does. Looks like it's a Hackamore and a bit. I think so. And then she's got it with 2 reins. In this case, you could either use a converter or hold both reins. She's opting for 2 reins. Normally, if a rider chooses to keep the 2 reins and not use a converter, it's because they want to be able to have individual control of the bit and the Hackamore.
It's also another bridle I never really got a big liking to.
I rode 1 or 2 horses in something like this, and it was always somehow seemed more complicated than it was worth.
But it's funny, like I was watching Connor Swale at a show, and he nearly has all of his horses in a Hackamore. So I think some people really like it.
Yeah, I mean, and a Hackamore by itself is also a totally different thing when you have no bit at all.
Yeah.
Again, riders either love it, like Laura Crowd is somebody who you see use a Hackamore a lot of times. And but I never really loved a Hackamore.
No.
It would always work for 1 or 2 rounds, and then I would kind of lose the control, or just never seem to really work.
Yeah, but it's working good.
It is working great right now.
Oh,
Gets over the last.
Super. That was a great round.
Yes, it was. And into our jump off, 65.65. Bringing our count up to 7 at the moment. So
The horse looks
Susan Horn of Canada
has a lovely expression after it's finished.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Looks happy.
Yeah, looks
like
happy.
It's job well done. All right, moving on to the second entry for Shane Sweetnam of Ireland. And this time, Shane is sitting on Irandel du Flot, the Seabrook LLC entry of the 10-year-old mare by Vivaldi with the Ogonacita mother.
See again another horse with the red ribbon in front.
Yep, exactly. Just letting everyone know my horsey needs a little extra space. I actually really like when people put those things on. It makes it much easier,
Yeah.
you know, to alert your fellow riders.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a nice courtesy, specifically courtesy to your horse.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these horses, they're sensitive, you know, so it's and if it makes a problem in the warm up, then when you go into the ring, it's not ideal.
Yeah, exactly. You always want to have the
Yeah.
most solid warm up you can to
Yeah,
give yourself the
exactly.
best shot to go in with confidence.
Exactly. It's so important to have a really good warm up that the horse is confident and yeah.
Exactly.
It's looking good.
I was just thinking that looking really good so far. Great effort there.
Yeah,
Jumps out of that double beautifully. 1 more to go.
Yep.
And makes it over the last. 65.94. And that's 2 in a row. So count is up to 8 on the good list so far. We've got a bunch left to jump, but looking like it's shaping up to be a great jump off.
I mean, it's probably just the right amount of clears so far, actually.
Exactly. You know, we're seeing a couple of riders with two horses in here, and as we get down to the second half of this list, we'll see a few more go clear, but it should be a perfect jump off. All right, but before that, we've got to see Mexico's Eugenio Garza Perez and Chalouri PS. 10-year-old stallion by Choco Blue with the Balube du Roue mother, owned by El Milagro.
You see so many Shakamola horses now around the world.
Exactly. Huge breeding program.
Huge,
thousands, you know.
Yeah.
My husband and I, we have maybe 600 or so horses, but Paul Schockenmuller has thousands of horses, probably the largest breeder of sport horses in Europe, probably in the world.
This is a really lovely horse.
Yeah, and Eugenio, of course, such a seasoned rider at this point.
Yeah, he's already done some great things. You know, he's I think he's, what would he be, 27?
Something like that. That
Yeah.
sounds about right.
It's quite impressive when still young.
And also, such a nice guy.
Yeah.
Really awesome guy. I
Yeah,
don't know anyone
cool
who
guy.
does. I don't know anyone who doesn't think that Eugenio is a really great guy. Oh,
that
was
really
sad.
unlucky.
Yeah, that was very sad. Jumped such a good round. Just
Yeah.
cut down a little bit coming out of that double. 64.81 with the one down. He'll slot into 13th place at the moment. But with that late fault, it will keep him out of our jump off.
Just nearly touched it in front on the way down.
Yeah, it looked like it just kind
Yeah.
of cut down, unfolded a bit early.
Just really light touch. That's all it takes with these jumps. They're so light now.
Exactly, you blow on them and they
yeah,
fall
really,
down.
really.
All right, next up, Canada's Erin Ballard. Erin Ballard is sitting on Ellie de Chasnay, the Chloe Quing entry of the 10-year-old mare by l'Arc de Triomphe and the Lupicore mother. Erin, always been one of the strongest female riders, I
Yeah.
think, anywhere in the world.
I have to say, I really love watching her ride. She was actually trying some horses by us last year, and she can just get on anything. I think she can really ride most
Anything.
types of horses.
Oh, absolutely. We were talking earlier about
Yeah.
people picking and choosing horses that really suit them.
Yeah.
Erin is somebody that will make the horse suit her because she
Exactly.
is capable of riding anything out there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful talent. Just looked like the horse is jumping a little bit forward there,
Yeah.
the way that it jumped the plank a little bit forward. It also did that coming into the double verticals early on in the course. Just
But
kind
actually,
of...
it's a really lovely horse. It's sometimes not a bad thing that they are thinking forward. They just need to figure it out how to maybe wait a little bit on the last stride. But
Absolutely. Just 10 years old, jumping up this higher level. Much better quality that the horses jump really forward than sort of jumping up and back. You can fix forward a lot easier than you can fix up and back. You want them thinking that way. All right, she'll finish up today with 4 down, 16 faults. Time is 65.52 for Erin Ballard and Ellie. All right, moving on to USA's Michaela Lang-Meer. Michaela is sitting on Carla, the Rafferty Farm LLC entry of the 2012 mare by Clarimo and the Cartago Z mother. Of course, Michaela out of a very famous American horse family, and she has been tremendously successful, very competitive rider.
yeah, she really knows what she's doing. I have to say the horses that they have as well they all look like really nice animals.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's so effective, isn't she?
I was just thinking that. She does such a good job really making sure she knew she needed to steady every single stride of those 4 strides. And you can see her keeping the leg, keeping the canter, the gallop active, but also steadying in front to make sure that she shortens the stride.
Yeah, exactly.
She's looking good so far.
Yeah. Come on.
Oh! You could see the horse just shifted a little left-right in the line. Didn't quite keep his eye on that last jump. Just too far off it. Unfortunately, having the final fence down. 4 faults, 65.53 for Michaela. And that final fault will keep her out of our jump-off.
Yeah, that was a shame. Just really didn't take her that last 2 strides.
Yeah, it looked like it kind of just, she was on the track, but it was then a little left-right and took his eye off the jump and didn't quite just take her up to the base, and she ended up too far away.
It's a shame because she gave it a really good ride.
Yeah. All right, moving on to USA's Molly Ash Colley and Echo van de Grenendal Z. And Echo is owned by the Sky Group. 2012 mare by Echo van Spieveld and Jadokis Mother. And unfortunately, the rain is coming down again.
Yeah.
Molly, of course, another very effective rider up there.
It's nice to see she has the horse in plain snaffle.
That's always really great to
Yeah.
see. Nice simple bridle.
Yeah, exactly.
Just using her aids correctly.
Yeah, she's given a really great ride, I have to say. I haven't seen a lot of her, but from what I've seen, it's always very good.
Back in the day, Molly had a couple of really great horses and spent a
Yeah.
lot more time in Europe. But over the last few years, she's really been sticking to North America competing. But she will make it into our jump-off, 65.52, and clear for Molly and Echo. So that'll bring our count up to 9 so far. Shaping up to be a great jump-off, I think.
Yeah, there's plenty of good riders. I think it'll definitely be a competitive jump off. A lot of fast riders.
Absolutely. And one of those, if he can make it in there, will be Lebanon's Jad Dana. If Jad can get into the jump off on after 8, the Spring Hill Farm 1850 LLC entry of the 14-year-old mare by Diorado with the Cardento Mother. Again, Jad's been on such a winning streak in the past year or so. Let's see if he can do it again today.
Looks quite feisty, this one.
It does, but actually I think he rides these real blood horses
Yeah.
very, very well.
Yeah, he just sits very quiet, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he sort of
And
stays
lets
out of their
them-
way.
Yeah.
A little bit of a cross canter, but sort of fits it in.
Jeez, it's jumping.
Beautiful. Yeah, beautiful jump there. A lot of blood, but careful looking animal.
Yep. Get a bit of encouragement there.
Exactly. You can see Jad doing what he can to try to tell the horse, no, slow down right before you take off. Trying to get the balance. He's got a lot of rolling momentum going here. He's going to have to reel it in for this delicate double at the end. It's good there. He set the horse, but now he's going to need to slow it down and keep it balanced. Ooh. Oh, a little bit of a rub coming out. One more to go. A little far away. Wow, great jump.
He's jumped amazing.
Oh, that was awesome. 64.21 and clear for Jad Dana. So, bringing our count up to 10 now on the good list, but that was a great round. And we're always talking about how scrappy of a rider he is, just making it happen. That was a perfect example of a rider really riding every stride and not giving up all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Very important lesson for anyone riding and wanting to get to higher levels. Don't give up to the end. Keep fighting.
I see he did actually one extra into the last double.
I think that was key.
I think that was a good idea.
Absolutely. We've seen mostly people do 5,
Yeah,
and he did the option to do the 6. And I
Yeah.
think, like I said, he had a lot of rolling momentum, and in order to help counteract that,
Yeah.
doing the one extra stride helped the balance. Smart move. All right, now we're looking at USA's Grant Seeger and Yogi FLP. Yogi is owned by Foxlair Performance, LLC. And it is a 14-year-old gelding by FRH Quaid with a staccato mother. So we've got maybe about 10 left to jump, close to. And we're sitting on 10 so far in the jump off. Stalling a little
Yeah,
bit.
a little bit. Just needs a, he has enough rhythm. It's just a little bit on takeoff. Just maybe not so sure.
And also you can see, we see some horses that kind of take their hind legs and open them up.
Yeah.
This one is sort of tucking them under a little bit. It's a bit technique of the horse. Now there you can see, just tuck them up. All right, So he will finish up with the 1 down. Time is 66.67 for Grant and Yogi.
Yeah, he seems happy with that.
Again, that penultimate fence coming down. It was quite a solid round, but he does pick up that teal oxer coming out of the last double. All right, moving on to Venezuela's Luis Fernando Larrazabal and Belle de Muse, the Dris Nagati entry of the 14-year-old mare by Ponzi.
It nearly looks like a French horse, doesn't it? The way it, it's quite a typical.
It does. When we say French horses, we're thinking kind of a uphill balance, very bloody kind of type. Be a little bit more delicate. Sometimes the French horses can be a little stiffer through the top lines, but
it doesn't look so big, this horse also.
No, it does not.
There's plenty of jump.
Actually don't know Ponzi. Do you know that as a stallion?
I don't actually.
No, me neither. I'll have to look it up. I'll get you guys some more info on it.
But actually, for a small horse, it has a really big stride. Which I think is important with those small horses. They have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I think it's important also that they have enough blood. You know, that they try to fight a little bit for the jump.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, small horse doesn't mean anything negative, but like you said, a small horse with a small stride is very difficult because you really need a horse that can get through the doubles and the triples easily and give yourself option. Of course, you have much more option. Doesn't necessarily, you need, when they're so small, they need a little bit of the speed, but if they can't cover the line, then it can make it much even harder.
Yeah.
In this case, looks like Luis is going to call it a day and retire within the round. I think he also lost a little piece of tack.
I saw that, yeah.
I'm not really sure what it was.
I think it was the tape from the
the tape from the hoof.
maybe from the overreach boots.
Again, a lot of times we use what a lot of Americans would think of as hockey tape.
Yeah.
It's very, very sticky black tape, and we use it around the rubber cuffs that we put for overreach, meaning that it wraps around the hoof to protect the edges of the shoe so that the hind legs cannot rip off the front shoe by grabbing the little clips. And we use these overreach boots made of rubber, but then we wrap the hockey tape around it. But when it gets really wet and muddy, that hockey tape can unravel very easily. Yeah. And then we see it rip off. And you see it a lot of times when on a rainy day, you'll see that hockey tape kind of flapping around. All right, moving on. We're looking at Great Britain's Jessica Mendoza and Kinmar Quality Hero. As the front pole of that oxer. But Kinmar Quality Hero is owned by Mark Martins, and it is an 11-year-old gelding by OBOS Quality. And she's sitting on that 1 down so far. Just had the front pole of that oxer. That short 4, we've seen it come down a couple of times, but not so much, actually. Not as much as I thought.
No,
I thought
actually,
it walked
was,
really tight.
Yeah.
But it didn't ride. It's not riding. We're seeing more coming down in the double verticals than we are at that oxer.
Yeah, because I have to say, when I walked it, did walk very short.
It was really short. It walked
but
like a full meter short.
Yeah, but actually, it's riding better than it walked.
She steadies up to the last, picking up a couple on the clock. 4 time faults, 4 jumping, and a total of 8 for Jessica Mendoza. 70.93 is her time. A little bit of a pet.
Yep. I see that is also an Irish sport horse. Quite nice to see.
Yes, absolutely. All right, moving on to Garrett Warner and the Shadow Creek, New York LLC entry, Nambino Van de Goldenagel Z. 2011 gelding by Numero Uno and a Coronado mother.
You're very good with these names. I'm not sure if I could pronounce that one.
Don't worry, I screw it up plenty. But I try.
Yeah.
We were talking about that before. Brutal having that first jump down. Number 2 coming down as well. That actually I think is the first time we've seen number 2 come down.
And number 3. I don't think also number 3 has been down.
No. But maybe Garrett is thinking 1, 2, 3 coming down. Is he making a circle? I think he might be actually still going.
Yeah.
Maybe just a little reorganized. Sometimes when you have a couple down early, some people call it a day and others say, you know what, let's make a circle. Let's reorganize and then let's try to keep going. Has B coming down as well out of that double. Jumps the oxer well.
Yeah. I think he's going to call it a
But now
day.
it's looking like he's calling it a day. Maybe horse fussing a little bit with his head. Maybe doesn't like the bit.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I see he has a net on the nose, which is...
Yeah, usually an allergy thing.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
But he will retire within the round. And we will move on to Colombia's Roberto Terran Tafur and the Rocking Basilisk Farm LLC entry Santana. 11-year-old gelding by Cascadella with the Cartago Z mother. And there he is. I think he was thinking he had a couple more seconds, but he's in the ring now.
Sometimes also a problem that can happen that someone retires quite early in the course and then you have to start maybe a little bit sooner than
you were
you
anticipated.
you
Yeah.
know. That's why also with me I try to get in the ring as soon as I can, you know, that you always have enough time to look around.
That's a big difference, actually, with America and Europe. In Europe, they really do something what we call preloading, where you're, once the horse, even in this particular case, where the first jump, they jump the first oxer past the in-gate, and then they'd let the rider in right away.
Okay.
And then in Europe, you even see them preload 2 horses, where the minute the horse goes through the finish timers, they'll ring the bell for the next person, and they'll keep going, and it'll speed things up a lot. But here in America, we don't see that so much.
Yeah.
They really let the horses kind of one at a time in the ring.
Yeah. I know sometimes, like at the training shows in Belgium or Holland, you can sometimes have 3 horses in the ring.
Yeah,
at one
exactly.
time. It's just going very high.
Yeah, just looked like he jumped up real high.
Yeah.
Not quite across. Also dove a little bit to the right there.
Yeah, I think just the horse doesn't look so comfortable there.
No, a little bit lacking in confidence.
Yeah.
And looking like he maybe will be calling it a day. Or maybe making a circle. Let's see. Well, maybe he's making a circle.
Yeah.
Still going. Jumping up real high.
Yeah.
Did the good job there, actually. I think his reorganizing circle. Ooh, that was big jump.
Actually, the horse has plenty of jump, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I think it looks like it has plenty of scope. It looks quite
Yeah.
careful. It just looks like it's wanting to try extra hard today.
Yeah.
And he's making his job a little harder on himself.
Exactly.
All right. Santana and Roberto will call it a day. And I'm sure we will see them come back another day. Okie dokie. Moving on to Dylan Daly and the Double C Stables entry Cinderella Z. Cinderella is a 13-year-old, let me rephrase, a 14-year-old mare by Choco Blue and a Julio Mariner mother.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen Dylan for quite some time, but he's been out here, I think, for quite a while. I think he's done very well.
Yep, absolutely.
There's so many Irish people out here now. It's become quite a place for the Irish.
And you can see he's missing his left stirrup. Very annoying, I'm sure, for him.
Yeah.
Still does not have it.
Nope. That really is. That's the most annoying thing to happen when you're during your round.
There you can see getting jumped loose a little bit because he doesn't have the balance of that stirrup. Yeah. Ooh. He's going to have to try to get it back. There we go. There we go. He's got it. It's such relief, right? The minute you get it back, you're like, oh my God, I can breathe again. Not holding on for dear life.
There's also quite a few people now using the magnetic.
I did. I used to ride in the magnetic stirrups. I did. I loved them.
Really? Yeah.
Loved.
Yeah.
They were absolutely life-changing.
That's what people say. People,
Yeah, they were spectacular.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm surprised more people don't opt to use them.
Yeah.
It's just one less thing to have to think about.
Exactly.
I mean, I can count on one hand how many times I lost my stirrup with the magnetic ones. I mean, once in a blue moon,
Yeah.
but, you know, it's a more often occurrence
Yeah.
when you don't have them. Anyway, he'll finish up time 65.24 with the 2 down for an 8-fault total for Dylan Daly.
Yeah.
But I loved those magnetic stirrups. You ever tried them?
No, never.
You should. I highly recommend.
Yeah, I have like stirrups now, and they have the little spikes, but
It's not the same.
it's not the same. No.
No.
You
The
get-
issue isn't so much about the grip when you push
Yeah.
downward. It's more that when you jump high, you
don't-
don't you take the pressure off the
Yeah.
stirrup, and then the stirrup can move.
Yeah.
And with the magnets, they stay connected to you.
Exactly.
All right, moving on to Gabriella Reuter of Chile and Mahari's Rock, the Lumiere Horses Incorporated entry of the OBOS quality. 14-year-old mare.
Another Irish sport horse. It's actually great to see. There's actually
Quite a lot.
quite a few here. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe this might be the first of 2 remaining entries in our first round. Again, sitting on 10 clear at the moment. Thought we'd get a couple more, actually, but
I
this
know.
last chunk.
It's
too
it's
many.
amazing how many people have scratched from
Yeah.
this class.
I think they were thinking it's too early in the year
Yeah.
to be soaking wet and miserably cold. Staying home for a Netflix and chill kind of day.
Yeah, exactly.
But making the competition easier for those who did jump.
Yes.
This is looking good so far.
Yeah, lovely horse. It has a real Irish look about it as well.
It does. Just one of those kind of trying horses
Yeah.
that wants to do the job.
Exactly.
Does have A coming into that last double. Jumps the last, but will pick up 2 on the clock. 4 jumping. Total is 6 faults for Gabriella Reuter and Mahari's Rock. So good solid round, but
Yep.
unfortunately picking up that one at the end.
Yeah, it was a super round. It's really a nice combination.
Absolutely. Oh, and that actually was our final entry. And they are going to set for the jump off. So we've got 10 on the good list. And let's go through it. We got Todd Minikus of the USA, Natalie Dean, then Shane Sweetnam of Ireland, Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo, Germany's Rupert Karl Winkelmann, back to the USA with McLain Ward, Canada's Susan Horn, back to Ireland with Shane on his second entry, Molly Ash Cawley, and finishing up with Jad Dana of Lebanon to round out those 10 for the upcoming jump-off of this $32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star Meter 50 Classic. We'll be back with you guys shortly, and stay tuned for the conclusion of this Meter 50 competition. All right, welcome back to the $32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 Classic. And we are getting ready for our jump off. I'm Danny Waldman. I'm sitting here with Chris McGahee, and we are getting ready. Let's go through these 10. Todd Minikus of the USA, Natalie Dean, Ireland Shane Sweetnam, Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo, Germany's Rupert Karl Winkelmann, of course, McLain Ward, Susan Horn of Canada, Shane Sweetnam on a second entry, Molly Ash Cawley from the USA, and rounding out our 10, Jad Dana of Lebanon. And I think it's going to be a very exciting jump off to conclude this Hermes meter 50 Classic. $32,000 on grabs. Tell me, Chris, what'd you think about the first round?
Yeah, it was. There was plenty of difficult things to do. I think he got it right actually with the amount of clears.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it was a little bit. When I walked it, it maybe wasn't the biggest track, but definitely there's definitely a lot of problems. You know, it was very careful course. You know, it was you need to be on the ball.
Absolutely, and I think we saw quite a lot come down to that final double.
Yeah.
It was a very delicate, difficult double to jump at the end, the teal across the middle, 11A and B. But luckily, they will not have to jump that again in the jump off. So let's go through our jump off round. They're going to start off with the same 1, 2, 3, 4A, B. We'll see what striding they do into the double verticals. They were doing 9. We saw an 8 or so. Maybe someone, I did walk a possible 7, but I don't know if anyone's thinking to do that into the double verticals. And then it's long run across the middle to the Fidelity Oxer, which is a new jump. Right-hand turn to that white plank. I think maybe through a pole on top. It's not a plank anymore. And then long run down to the same location as 7B, but now it is the Hermes Oxer as our final jump in the course.
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do actually from 3 to 4, because I think actually if you have a really big stride, probably the 7, if you just do it really direct, probably is also possible.
It is there. I mean, I walked it from an actual like physical distance. It is 100% there, but it's more a question of coming into those double verticals, not only on an angle, but also on the forward stride. I don't know if anyone's going to take that option. I think we're going to see 8.
Yeah, I think so too. It's such a careful jump. I mean, to go on a big, long distance is, not so easy.
No, exactly. But our trailblazer from round 1 is going to get us started. The incomparable Todd Minikus of the USA and Kikabo Spirit. Owned by the Spirit Group, the 9-year-old mare by Darius. And let's see if Mr. Master of Faster himself can show us how it's done. He's sitting on a big horse, so if there is one that could do the 7, it's probably him, but
I was just thinking that as well.
Don't think it will be him. I don't think he's going to do it.
Yeah.
But our time allowed in this deciding round, 48 seconds. And he is getting us started. Again, same 1, 2, 3, 4 AB.
Yeah, it's really quite a large horse, isn't it?
It is, but that was a good turn.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 7. Yeah.
So I steadies up in the 8.
The 8 is a lot better.
Absolutely. Now long run across the middle. Todd is quick at the end of that, but maybe started a little bit slow moving up. Could have maybe come forward a little bit sooner. Good slice there. They did switch out that plank. It's now a pole. And long run to the last. Clears it for a double clear round. 35-67. Automatic leader at the moment on the clear for Todd Minikus and Kikabo Spirit.
Yeah, that was a good round. Actually, it would nearly suit that particular horse in this jump off just to use its stride. You know, it's maybe not the fastest mover across the ground, but there's plenty of places where you can just use the horse's stride.
Absolutely. Not too many rollbacks actually at all. It's all kind of long run.
Yeah.
A little bit delicate because you got to do those numbers up the first 2 lines, but then single kind of thing. Lots of space to use a big stride.
Yeah.
All right, let's see if Natalie Dean can challenge that time of 35.67 set by Todd Minikus, and she is sitting on Oasis Van de Buckstail, the Marigold Sport Horses LLC entry. So I think Todd, you can see his tracks a little bit to the right, more inside of her.
This is really a lovely horse. I really like the...
She also opts to do the 8. A little bit of a light touch, but it stays up. She lands and kicks right away.
Yep. Can open up now. Maybe like a two-face.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of start a little bit more
bit
conservative,
slower,
and now you got to run.
Then you can go.
Let's see what she does. Steadies up a little bit to the last.
Super.
Time is 36.80 on the clear. So not quite as fast as Todd's time, but on the double clear and sitting in second at the moment for Natalie Dean. So again, Todd Minikus' time to beat 35.67. And that's the time we're going to keep our eyes out for. And let's see if Ireland Shane Sweetnam, the world number 12, if he can challenge Todd Minikus' time. He's sitting on Otis Blue, the 10-year-old Belgian-bred gelding by Jaguar.
Yeah, jumped a very impressive round in the first round. Looks like a really, really promising horse.
Absolutely. And Shane, of course, the only rider with 2 in our jump-off.
Yeah,
So
that's quite impressive.
quite impressive, since there weren't even that many clear. We saw
Yeah.
50-something jump and only 10 clear.
Spends quite a bit of time in the air. Gives quite a big jump.
Does the 8.
This-
Almost
the-
could have been, he was
yeah,
on that
the-
inside track. He almost could have done the 7.
The 7 is definitely there, actually.
No, but he does roll B out of the cups. So now he looks like he's let off the gas pedal a little bit. Again,
Yeah,
just 10 years old, this horse. Just trying
Yeah.
to give it a nice, solid jump-off round. Not running him off his feet,
Yeah.
but a beautiful jumper. He'll finish up 41.81 with a time of 4 faults. Or a score of 4 faults, time 41.81 for Shane Sweetnam and Otis Blue. Leaving Todd Minikus still in the lead at the moment with Kikabo Spirit. Time is 35.67. And let's see if Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo can challenge that time on HFG Quaman. The Santa Cecilia Stables entry of the 11-year-old gelding by Diamond.
3990 4838 3862 531 705.
All right, again, time to beat 35.67. And let's see if he can do it. Todd was really fast 1-2.
Yeah.
He's really on the inside track here, right on the right corner. He's right in line with Todd's.
6.
See what he does here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There's
There
the
you
7
go.
easy. But now he's got to run.
Yeah, now he needs
This was
to
the
go.
one place where Todd could be beat. And I think he needs to keep moving. But again, here you can see the tracks in the ground. He's a little bit wider than
Yeah.
Todd's. And now he's got to really run to the last. Steadies up right at the end for the balance. But 35.65, he just gets him by 0.02 of a second. So that'll be our new leader, 35.65.
I have to say, Todd actually was a lot faster than maybe everyone thought.
Yeah, because that was quite quick.
Yeah, that was quick.
All right, so that is our new time to beat, 35.65 on the double clear for Luis Francisco de Azevedo and HFG Quaman. Okay, we still got some speedy ones coming up. First up, Germany's Rupert Karl Winkelmann and Quinn 33, the Eichendorff horses, GmbH & Co. entry of the 11-year-old, of the 14-year-old gelding by Kidam.
I think Rupert is going to give it a good go here. This is quite a fast horse.
Absolutely.
He's gonna give
I
it a
do
good
think
try.
that Luis was quick, but he wasn't lightning.
No,
I think it is
definitely could
beatable.
have been faster after the double. You know,
Yeah.
he was maybe waiting a little bit, a few strides.
Yeah, everyone
and then,
seems to be sort of waiting a few and then
Yeah,
going
and then
instead of
going.
landing
Yeah.
and running.
Exactly.
We really need to land off that double. I know it parks you. This was a
Yeah.
good ride here.
Yeah, he rode that well.
Oh, he's
6,
got to
7.
slow down.
Ooh.
Whoa, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
too much speed. It was the right idea.
Yeah, it nearly looked like he was actually going to wait for the 8 strides.
Yeah,
and
he
then
sort of
maybe
sat up and
change.
waited and
Yeah,
then kept going, and he needed to kind of do it the other way around.
Exactly.
Needed to go and then sit up and wait.
That was a shame because actually it was, I'd say if he had that up, he would have given it
Yeah.
a good go towards the end.
35.58. He would have had the time. He did actually have the time by 0.2 of a second. But with the one down, that will put him into 4th at the moment. 35.58 was his time, but with the one down. All right, now Mr. McLain Ward of the USA and La Serra, the McLain Ward and Susan Heller entry of the 10-year-old mare by Casal. And you know McLain is going to give it a go.
Yep. If there's any man to do it.
He is the one, and the efficiency that McLain is able to execute these jump-offs is so incredible. I think one of the things McLain does so well, he sort of sets his position, holds his reins tight, and then he never changes.
Yeah.
You know, he's never readjusting himself or anything, which really can slow you down in a jump-off. McLain sort of sets himself, and then it's just a matter of how can I execute the track as fast as possible in the inside track.
He did the 7.
7,
That was good.
easy. And there you go. You see Lance kicking, kicking on the inside. There we go. Using his seat here. He is a little bit
A
wider.
little bit wider there. But it's not such an experienced horse, this, so maybe, yeah. He's still going for it, but
Does the 10 to the last. Clears the last.
yeah.
Time is 36.07 and goes into 3rd for McLain. 36.07 on the clear, but sitting in 3rd at the moment, behind Luis Francisco de Azevedo in the lead and Todd Minikus in 2nd. So that was quick. Again, newer, younger horse maybe for McLain. Doesn't know it so well. Went a little bit wide to the last turn back, but was quick otherwise.
Yeah, he definitely give it a good experience there.
Absolutely. All right, let's see if Canada's Susan Horn and Kierlo van de Bosran, the Kingsfield Farm entry of the 14-year-old gelding by Cardento. Let's see if Kierlo and Susan can give them a run for their money.
This will be interesting as well because when you also up the speed with the Hackamore, it's
Hard to turn.
Yeah, turning gets a little bit difficult.
Exactly. That's the hardest thing about a Hackamore. Maybe that's why she has the the bit in as well.
7, 8.
She's on it.
3, 4, 5, 6. There's a big stride. This one nearly could have done the
Yeah.
one less.
She does the 8, but now she's got to keep moving. I don't know if she looks a little bit behind.
Yeah.
Gonna have to be really quick here, and definitely a little bit wider. Oh, and does pop that back pole there.
Just didn't really have time to finish the stride.
Yeah, you saw the horse kind of
Yeah.
never really set his hind legs.
Yeah.
So she'll pick up the 1 down, 4 faults. Time is 36.93. So pretty solid time, but with the 1 down, put her into 6th at the moment.
Yeah, she seems happy with that. It's a good round.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to, that does not look like Shane Sweetnam. That looks like Molly Ashcali.
It's gotten smaller.
Yeah, exactly. I think maybe Shane is in the order he would go next, but because it's his second rider, they're giving him a chance to actually warm up, and Molly moved up. So Molly Ashcali and the Sky Group entry, Echo VH Herendal Z. 2012 mare by Echo Van Spieveld. Let's see what Molly does. She does the 9. We've seen a couple people do 8. Our leader is on 8 strides.
Yeah, the
Fights to fit in that 8.
but actually I think with this particular horse she probably needed to do the 8 there.
I
you know,
agree. I
it's,
don't think the 7 would have worked.
Yeah.
She needed to do the extra stride to get the balance into
Yeah.
that double vertical. She's got a lot of foot speed.
Yeah. It's fast and careful horse. was a good
She
run.
will finish up on the clear, 38.09 for Molly.
The rain is really coming down now.
Yeah, exactly. Not so nice. So on the clear for Molly, but sitting in 5th at the moment. So 38.09. Again, our time to beat is still 35.65 on the double clear for Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo and HFG Kwame. But it is pouring at the moment, and it has not let up. Relentless rain throughout this entire competition today.
I have to say the footing looks like it's held up well.
Yeah, no, we don't see any standing
Nope.
water anywhere. It doesn't look muddy out there. It looks solid. No horses slipping. But let's see if Ireland Shane Sweetnam on his second entry. Irondale du Flot, the Seabrook LLC farm entry.
I think he's going to give this.
He's going for it.
3, 4.
Does the 8?
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Ooh. Horse was a little late in getting his hind end there. Landed a little shallow. That's why he does the 8 into the double verticals. But it
really-
jumped up high.
Yeah, really need to go now. Spends a bit of time in the air.
Needs to keep kicking. Come
Yeah.
on, Shane. Keep going. You can see he's thinking about going fast. He's pretty tight on his turn
Yeah,
here.
that was good. Goop. He's going. Yeah. Just a little bit
Fits
off.
the 10 at the end, but will not catch the time. 37 flat will be Shane's time. Sitting in 5th at the moment for Shane and Irondale. 37 flat.
It's a very extravagant jumper. You know, it nearly spends quite a bit of time in the air.
Yeah, it does.
Can slow him up a little bit.
Exactly, and I think a little bit the way that he jumped number 3
Yeah.
kind of put him off of that 7. He had to do the
Exactly.
8,
Yeah.
and then he was a little bit behind because of that.
Exactly.
All right, our last to go in the jump-off, Lebanon's Jad Dana, and after 8. The Spring Hill Farm 1850 LLC entry of the Diorardo.
I really hope he goes for it now because I
I think
actually,
he will. I think he could do it.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that Jad can do it.
It's definitely doable.
Let's see if he can leave the jumps up.
Yeah.
He's getting a good left to right angle at 1.
Yeah, he's going for it.
Gets the 8. Gets the 6.
1, 2, 6, 7, 8.
Does the 8, but he is faster.
Yeah, he's fast.
He's got to go now. There we go. Come on. Come on, Jad. Oh, he's fitting it in, but he's
That's
still
all right.
moving. The
He's
horse
still
is
going.
jumping. Amazing. Absolutely flying.
It's really fast across the ground.
Ooh. Leave it up. Come on. 1 left to go. I think he's on it.
He's
Clears
doing
the
it.
last, and he has got it for the win. 34.37. Look at that big smile. That is going to be our winner. Over a second and 2/10 faster than our previous leader. Our winner is going to be Jad Dana, and after 8. 34.37 on the double clear for our win for Lebanon. That was an excellent ride. We thought he had a chance, and
Yeah.
he absolutely blew the competition away.
It's always nice the last rider to see them really go for it. You know, it's
Absolutely.
makes it exciting.
Absolutely. That was a very exciting class, and it is utterly pouring out right now. Very miserable. You can see everybody on the crew here at Wellington International covered up for the rain, but that was a very exciting finish to our Hermes $32,000 CSI 3-star meter 50 classic here at week 1. Jad Dana taking the win over Luis Francisco de Azevedo from Brazil in 2nd. And in 3rd, we've got Todd Minikus of the USA. So they are just setting for the prize-giving ceremony, which will be a soggy one. But this was a very interesting class. We saw around 54, maybe even a few less, jump the first round. 10 made it into our jump-off. We had a lot of different nations represented in our jump-off, but taking the win, Lebanon's Jad Dana. We've been saying he's been on a roll. He won the National Grand Prix last week, winning this conclusive meter 50 class here at week 1. And it's going to be a long season here. Make sure to come back each Sunday to watch the meter 50 classic all throughout the season. The next 3 months, we've got 11 more weeks of FEI competition coming up. And I'll be here presenting the Challenge Cups on Thursdays, the meter 50s on Sundays, as well as a few other classes throughout the season. Thanks again to Chris McGahey for joining me today.
Thank you.
Excellent
That was,
addition to our show.
Yeah, thank you. It was always a pleasure.
It was great insight, especially from that European perspective. He's here for the week, spectating, enjoying, surveying the land, seeing what's out there. Nice way to start out the season. Looking like they are coming in. Just get ready for the prize giving. Thanks again to Hermes for presenting the meter 50 classic throughout the season here at Wellington International. And luckily for us, we are sitting in the dry booth, but everyone else is getting wet.
Yeah, I think that's a day now to go back home and
Cuddle up in bed.
yeah, really.
Watch some TV.
It just has not stopped today, has it?
No, it is absolutely miserable outside. This is fully European feeling day. Be one thing if it was a little warmer, but it is also
I know,
freezing.
it's cold, yeah. I mean, I shouldn't complain too much. I think back in Belgium it's been like -7. Or
Oh, so I think in this case then,
it's just like
toasty for
yeah,
you.
toasty. Yeah.
And there is our third place
Here we
finisher, Todd Minikus, trotting to get out of the rain as fast as possible. And I don't blame him.
It's a lovely horse, that actually. It's got such a nice expression.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's nice. Todd has a really nice one coming up.
Yeah.
Younger horse in Kikabo Spirit, but jumped a beautiful double clear here today.
Yeah. Here
So
comes,
Todd Minikus of the USA finishing in third, going for his wet picture at the moment. Thanks again to Hermes for their presentation of this class. Number 2, our second place finisher is going to be Brazil's Luis Francisco de Azevedo and the Santa Cecilia Stables entry of HFG Quaman. Also jumped a beautiful round. This horse maybe had one of the most beautiful first rounds of anything we saw jump athletic.
Yeah.
What a round, huh?
Yeah,
I think we both loved this one.
It's such a nice horse. I think throughout the season you'll see it do some really good things. It's got everything you want.
Absolutely. Just 11 years old, right coming into his peak. And there is our winner of today's $32,000 Hermes CSI 3-star meter 50 classic, Lebanon's Jad Dana and Fleur de Lis Cherie, owned by... Oh, no, actually, that is not. After 8 is the winner.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. After 8, wrong entry. That was his original entry. After 8 is the winner, the Spring Hill Farm 1850 LLC entry with a time of 34.37. Putting that helmet back on, and you can see the rain coming down. They're going to do their victory lap. But thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm Danny Waldman. Thanks to Chris McGahey for joining me.
Thank you so much.
And we will catch you guys next week for week 2 here at Wellington International. Thanks again, everyone. See you next time.